Hi, I'm Kristi Arnot, District Veterinarian for Hunter Local Land Services based in Singleton, and we're at the Singleton Pasture Demo Site.
Hi, I'm Teresa Hogan, Livestock Officer for Hunter Local Land Services, and Kristi and I are here today for a very specific purpose, and we're talking pastures and introducing our livestock to those pastures and the things that we need to remember when we're doing that to make sure that animal health is our priority and we're also not hurting our back pocket. So, Kristi, I think one of the biggest things that everybody needs to remember is that when we're introducing our livestock to our new pastures, particularly if they're green and growing, is we really need to be vaccinating our animals, particularly for our clostridials. And we also need to be looking at our drench management and making sure that our drenching program's up to date and that we've checked for worms in the system so that we're not spreading them on should we be going onto a new pasture. And the other thing we also want to be remembering is that when we're introducing livestock to new pastures, that we're introducing them slowly to give that room and time to develop to the new feed, and then we won't be seeing too many production losses. And we can do that by making sure that our livestock are going onto the pastures with full bellies. So, you might need to give them a big feed of hay, lower straw, lower quality hay, just to fill that belly up so that that new green feed isn't giving that rumen a big shock.
Definitely, and with going back to the vaccination, that's probably the most important thing at the moment with the risk of clostridial diseases, and it's a very, very cheap insurance policy with prices so good at the moment. All cattle should be given a 5-in-1 at the minimum, preferably a 7-in-1 to cover them, to protect them against very preventable diseases every time you change pasture, every time you change feed. And just to remember that the pulpy kidney, the enterotoxemia part of your 5-in-1 or 7-in-1 vaccine only lasts for 3 months, so you need to give them regular boosters to protect them against the pulpy kidney part. And as you said, good drench program, use our worm test kits, come and pick them up from any of the LLS offices. If they're due to drench them and then check in 14 days. Know that your drench was successful, know that you've drenched appropriately for the correct worms you've got at the time, and don't drench at that point if you don't need to.
That's right. I mean, one of the biggest things is we want to be making sure that we're not spending money unnecessarily. So,
Definitely.
At this time of year we sort of start to look at supplements for our animals, as well as our vaccination and drenching program, and understanding what your animals need before they go on and what kind of quality that pasture is really important. So we want to be feed testing to see what we've got ahead of us and making sure that there's plenty available for the animal, and if there's not, we can start looking at that supplementation program, and we can start asking questions around what we need and making sure that we're doing the most cost effective thing to make sure that our animal health is priority.
Definitely, and with regard to that testing as well, we are still seeing high nitrate levels in our pastures in this area. It's the pastures, it's your hays, it's your silage, so you need to know the levels of your pasture. This is particularly important if you're bringing animals in that are out of the area, or you're selling hay or sending hay and silage out of the area. So it's important to know the levels, because the risks are still there, and it's the new feed that's coming up. It's the lower third that's got the highest nitrate levels that make those animals so susceptible as that rumen adapts. So send your feed off, test it before you bale it, test it before you feed it, know what the levels are. And as we discussed previously, walk through your pastures. Know what weeds could be present. Know the important things. Know if you have green cestrum down near the river, which unfortunately accounts for more deaths of animals in our area than any other weed. Know if you've got mother of millions on your roadside. Know what's there and what could potentially pose risks to your animals. Know if there's some bracken fern or some rock fern. Know the signs to look out for, any suspected bleeding, things like that. And I mean, we're lucky here, we don't have the tropical soda apple that they have further north, but it is in the Manning area. So if you're bringing cattle or feed in from that area, lock them in the yards, clean them out so you're not contaminating the pastures. Similarly, keep an eye out for the Parthenium weed that came down with some of the hay and the feed from Queensland during the drought. So we don't want that to become established here either. Your regional weeds authority can help. Council is the best person to contact with regards to suspected the tropical soda apple or the parthenium, and know that things like your cestrum and your mother of millions are class 3 noxious weeds, so you've got a responsibility as an owner to control them on your property.
I think that's a really good point, Kristi, is that, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not sure what's in your pasture, it's really important that you get out of the vehicle and go and have a look. And if you're not sure what you're identifying or, you know, what's in front of you, that's when you come and ask for help. And the best place to start is start with the local land services. You know, our vet team or our ag team are always available, you know, to have a chat. You know, you can send us photos and we can help to identify it. But also we're there, you know, as that sounding board to discuss your management and to make sure that your livestock health is priority.
Definitely.